Hi, Keith. Pat Johnson, she's down there, Jackson, somebody you killed. Uh, Nobody important, just someone you killed. Keith, it seems like you guys, your investigative team, are having a few issues with trying to identify who the murderers actually are or how the murder is accomplished. So I'm going to give you the opportunity to look at a murderer and see if you miss any clues. Maybe we can talk about it one day. Maybe I won't be dead. Maybe your Roger Lott trick won't work this time. Let's. Roger Lott is good.
Car was stolen and vandalized a third time. The insurance company totaled it. Now she's shopping for a new vehicle. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
The National Insurance Crime Bureau says to prevent theft, make sure to lock your vehicle and take the key or fob with you. Also park in well-lit areas and in a garage if that is possible. Well, parents of premature infants being cared for at North Mississippi Medical Center now have a way to stay
Pay attention. Now, this is murder. Now, you might find it difficult to believe it's murder because it's not out there murder. It's not murder that just jumps out and says, hey, I'm going to murder you. Unless you're the person that's being murdered. You know how you take a knife and you stick it to someone's throat? And the only person who actually experiences the knife to their throat is the person who has the knife to their throat. Okay, well, there's a person in this room right now at 6884 Mount Vernon Road, Mississippi 39744, that is in the United States, Mississippi. Right now, there is one person in this room that has a knife to his throat that somehow has been poltergeisted through the television. And I'd like to know if Keith Ball can figure out who's holding the knife.
connected with their newborns, no matter where they are or the time of day. NMMC's Women's Hospital in Tupelo has angel eye camera systems in its NICU. The cameras allow parents to see their babies when they can't possibly be at the hospital, or physically be there, rather. The cameras were provided by the community through a fundraising campaign. This was organized by the North Mississippi Healthcare Foundation. The NICU nurses tell us the camera systems are a way for the staff to better connect with parents of newborns.
Because they can send messages, pictures, videos of the babies to the families and just help that mom feel more comfortable while she's away. She can get that information that she couldn't normally get until she make a phone call to us. And now she gets a notification on her phone. We left her a message. She has a video or a picture of her baby, and that has been very great.
The NICU has had these cameras in place since mid-January. All right, wildlife roam in the woods, but they also like open spaces like this. Dr. John Long joins Winston to explain why fields are favorite spots for wild creatures when we come back.
Men over 45, do you have a urgent need to urinate day and night? I bet you do. That bladder never really empty, and that enlarged prostate blocking that flow? I have good news. Presenting the UroLift system, a minimally invasive procedure that can give you up to 50% better flow and lasting relief. Best of all, UroLift is an outpatient treatment. Reopens the channel with no cutting, so you can quickly return to normal activities, all while preserving sexual function. Yes.
Call 662-260-3422.
Most common side effects are temporary and can include discomfort when urinating, urgency, inability to control the urge, pelvic pain, and some blood in the urine. Rare side effects, including bleeding and infection, may lead to a serious outcome and may require intervention.
Lasting relief, people, is here.
Call and set an appointment today with Urologic. 260-3422.
Well, great buy that Bill Russell 40 close with 0% for this. 23 model new ones, 2 model new ones. We got 23 new ones to choose from at Bill Russell Ford F-150, $2,250. $2,250 rebate. Bill Russell Ford, Clemson City. Y'all come see us.
I don't lie to you.
Bill Russell Ford Lincoln, Highway 45, Columbus. Insurance companies always claim they'll be there for you, but think about it. They only make money when you don't. Why would the insurance company pay you what you deserve when that means less money in their pocket? Think about that.
At Schwartz & Associates, we don't get paid until you get paid. You pay nothing until we win for you. Now think about it. Who's really going to get you the most money possible? One call, that's all.
Story on WCBI News at 5 with Andrea Sell.
Welcome back. Out in the open field, that's where you'll sometimes find wildlife. Winston Reed and Dr. John Long tell us why in this week's Next to Nature.
So we're standing in a large field today. We'll explain why it's beneficial to wildlife. I'm Winston Reed. This is Dr. John Long, and this is Next to Nature. All right, Dr. Long, tell us why we are in this field today.
Fields such as this, whether it be one that's created or a great place for wildlife to come and congregate. They use it, number one, as could be potentially as a food source, but it also serves as a way to look for predators and other things that may be trying to eat them during a rainy or stormy weather.
I see the ground is a lot greener over here than it is in the more wooded areas where a lot of trees are.
Right. So either a natural opening or one such as this here that was created specifically for wildlife. Once you open that canopy up, it allows for native plants to establish and provides a food source for animals.
Explain why this field being irregularly shaped is, and we struggle with that word.
Yeah, that's why you said
Explain why an irregular shaped field is more beneficial than a perfectly rectangle field or a round field.
Right. Well, wildlife will come to a rectangular or square field or a round field for that matter, but they really like an irregularly field such as this. It allows them to go up to the edge of the field and basically peek around corners to make sure there's not something there that they don't want to be there. Another thing, if you'll observe the edge of this field, it has a lot of high cover next to it. That also helps animals to hide before they enter the field. So that allows them to check for things, again, that they not necessarily want to be there.
All right, we appreciate it, Dr. Long. This is Next to Nature. We'll see you next time.
I went to the sweet potato capital of the world this morning to meet the Mini-Met Elementary School. We talked all things weather, including forecast. I'll have yours after the break.
Don't let that adjuster scare you. Call me. We'll see who gets scared then. 888, we fight. Your life is worth this fight. 888, we fight.
Please don't be mad. I'm a spy.
Welcome aboard, Helen. I actually knew this whole spy thing.
Hey, give me your hand!
I don't think this is a good idea. We're just going to be gone for a few days.
You're going to be so romantic. We saved everyone.
We saved everyone. Not bad for an old guy.
True Lies, noon tonight at 9 Central on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Come home to faster internet and greater savings when you switch to Sparklight's Lightning Fast Internet. Call now and connect your home for as low as $50 a month for 3 months. You'll want to stay in and stream the night away with speeds up to a gig. And whole home Wi-Fi that wows in every room. Cozy up with 99.99% reliability. Bring it all home with Sparklight Internet for as low as $50 a month for 3 months. Plus, act now and get free installation. Call us today or scan the code to speed up and save.
At LQ Furniture, we've always got some bargains. What are they? Well, they're always the guaranteed lowest price. You know, we don't do it on sale items. We do it on every item. At LQ Furniture, you can always save. Like this sectional this week, you can get a sectional for $475. That's right. We can finance it for you. Everything's got a warranty. We got name brands. We have the guaranteed lowest price, and we're at LQ Furniture this weekend.
Should you watch it? Is it scary? Is there adventure, romance? Will the hero win in the end? Join me each week for my movie watch list on WCBI Sunrise.
You got a problem. Why my phone bill $300? Because I didn't put that $3 on your international. That's why. So you want it now?
Get four of $100 a month
That's how you want this conversation to go. Why my phone bill $400? Because I didn't put this $3 international. That's why. Now, do you want the $3 international? That way your phone bill won't be up to $400? Because I can do that for you.
Former law.
With me by no $300 to keep your phone bill going up to $400. Do you know how many phone calls I get from people talking about their phone bill went up to $400?
I bring my whole family here.
Charge on here.
I bring my husband and our
You
three
won't buy
children.
it from me. You can call back. Somebody gonna call you. You can buy it from there, but you won't buy it from me. Okay, I want you to sell it. I want you to get the money for it. Okay, well, let's do it.
Some new information tonight in that deadly weekend shooting at a Tupelo nightclub. The city prosecutor tells WTVA 9 the victim was beaten and pistol whipped before he was shot inside of the Cheers Club near Crosstown. WTVA's Lane Herford's joining us live at the Lee County Sheriff's Office with an update.
Thanks a lot, Emily. Yeah, that's right. Richard Babb is the city prosecutor here in Tupelo. He told me this afternoon that the person who's charged with that second-degree murder and Hatchet, he is in jail here behind me at the Lee County Adult Jail here in Tupelo, accused of killing Clifton, that Clifton being Montavious Clifton, who was 22 years old at the Cheers Club here, as you mentioned, Sunday in Tupelo. Now, Babb told me that there was a video that he and others inside of the Tupelo Municipal Court got a chance to look at yesterday during Hatchet's initial appearance, and he said in that video, a skirmish, a fight, if you will, several people beating up on Clifton inside of the Cheers. Now, eventually it led to a shooting, and Babb says that the shooting was not intentional. One reason why Hatchet is being charged with second-degree murder. Now, here's what he told me in his offices here in Tupelo.
The defendant waded in, pulled out a pistol, began whipping him, and at some point discharged. Don't think it was his intent to kill him. That's the reason he was been arrested under second-degree murder. But
plain. I don't know nobody named Roger Locke, and I don't give a fuck if he had swapped his name out to the United States of America at that moment. At the moment, the bitch told me, I'm going to take your property and I'm going to get paid off of it and I'm going to share with my friends. If that bitch had been in my face and he had been named the United States of America, I would have grabbed that bitch by his throat, slung him down on the ground, and beat him to a bloody fucking pulp until he begged me to stop. And then I'd give him an opportunity to mine.
Now, he says Hatchet can charged even with a second-degree murder charge. He will have to face a grand jury here in Lee County, according to BAP, within a couple of weeks. We'll have more on this story as it becomes available to us, but reporting live here in Tupelo, Wayne Hurst.
Your second chances are going to the court, bitch, because you don't get no second chance at the foundation when you try to take out the owner. You ask the court for that, and we'll holler at you over there.
TVA 9 News.
Law enforcement released the mugshots of the grand of kidnapping 3 grandchildren at gunpoint from a Lee County home.
I hear they
This is
giving
Kentucky
out
resident
second,
Douglas
third,
Mills, who
fourth,
faces 3
and,
counts of kidnapping.
7, 8,
Kentucky
9,
residents
11,
Vanessa Cox
12,
and Sheila
13,
Hood
14,
are also
16,
charged with
17,
kidnapping.
18.
Meanwhile, Lee County
So,
Sheriff Jim Johnson says it was
you
a
can shoot at
family
me, bitch, and
situation.
nothing's ever going to happen. You shoot to kill,
The mother here
nobody's
in
ever going
Shannon
to be punished
and
for
the
that.
grandfather and these 2 other individuals came down and forcibly took these children at gunpoint.
Now the 3 suspects are jailed in Campbell County, Tennessee. Sheriff Jim Johnson says the children could be reunited with their mother soon. So far, an extradition hearing hasn't been set for the trio to return to the Magnolia State. We will let you know when it.
I'm talking.
Tennessee court sets that date.
Alabama Governor Kay Ivey today signed an executive
Selves.
The Louisville Metro
set the stage for achieving maximum employment and stable prices over the longer run.
Powell acknowledged that the Fed's actions affect communities, family, and businesses across the country.
Freelo says they are always looking to improve patient experience. She says they saw during COVID the pain parents actually went through by
No writing, no orders, or none of that. None of that. I'll beat this into the motherfucking ground. Leave your teeth, leave your gums, and leave your tongue intact. So you can say, you get the fuck up. What you gonna do is go get my motherfucking property and bring it to me like it's supposed to be. That's what if you wasn't a faggot.
by not seeing their babies. She says they want to reach out to the company Angel Eye and offer parents $1,000 in donations to purchase the system. Again, this camera system app is available now for patients.
That ship has sailed with the Trotter ship. No more second chances. You're a faggot. So I'm going to send a faggot to go bring your ass to me.
You only have 2 days your ticket for the United Way 50K way. The tickets for the United Way 50K giveaway.
Hey, faggot, go get Roger Lott.
They are $100, and all the proceeds support United Way programs across Northeast Mississippi. There's only a handful.
Tell him I said, come over here and say that shit to my face.
Full of tickets left, and once they're out, they're out. You also have to have your ticket purchased by this Friday, March 10th at 10:30 p.m.
Gonna see if I'm gonna kill myself or if I'm gonna kill your bitch ass.
And so here's where you can get your tickets. Of course, you can buy your tickets on.
Take a chance, faggot. Take the whole power of the government and bring your faggot ass over here and say that shit to my motherfucking face.
19-day program in June are being accepted from now until April 1st.
I bet you it's a dead body over there to show you what the fuck gonna happen.
It costs $2,600. Scholarships are available.
The Dunn Museum is going big in honor of Women's History Month. The Dunn City Museum in Tupelo offers a tour of its exhibit outfit.
Looks a little overcast, like traffic.
Mostly cloudy skies right now.
Statistics reported today that the number of available positions fell.
Hey, Roger! Nurse Fry is poisoning me. Nurse Fry is giving me suicide pills. Come over here and say something about
To 10.8 million in January, down from 11 to 3 million in December.
Say the same shit you said when I told you before, Roger.
The January report showed that hiring increased while layoffs surged. The number of people who quit their jobs dropped. The continued imbalance between worker supply and demand means the U.S. job market remained tight in January.
The community's reaction after a grandfather and 2 others are accused of kidnapping 3
financing options.
Gave us time to adapt a
AA is grilled on Capitol Hill today over the disturbing number of Syracuse coaching legend Jim Boeheim with the school.
Unacceptable. It is heartbreaking.
The Attorney General visibly impacted by a DOJ investigation, finding systemic abuse against the city's Black residents, including the disproportionate use of excessive force.
Some officers have demonstrated disrespect for the people they are sworn to protect. Some have videotaped themselves throwing drinks at pedestrians from their cars, insulted people with disabilities, and called Black people monkeys, animal, and boy.
The Justice Department's two
in Memphis after the beating death of Tyrus at the hands of police.
detailing what he believes is a troubling pattern.
I had a few more Memphis police officers visit me here in Newport. You go through the YouTube selection and you'll find a couple of Memphis police officers coming here to try to Zori Rush.
Pattern of racial bias in investigation, finding systemic abuse against the city's Black residents, including
videotape themselves throwing drinks at pedestrians from their car.
Launched after the 2020 police shooting death. Proportionate use of excessive force.
Some officers have demonstrated disrespect. Monkeys, animal, and boy.
The Justice Department's 2-year strayed.
For the emergency. All you know was somebody kicked in the door inside my girlfriend.
Louisville Metro PD executing a so-called no-knock warrant, killing Taylor, who had no connection to the alleged crime they were investigating. None of the officers involved have been charged in her death.
That it took this to even have somebody look into this department. I don't know.
Today's report finding more than 60% of no-knock search warrants and forced entries into buildings involve Black people. The alarming findings come as the Department of Justice announces they're opening a separate review into the Memphis Police Department after the horrific beating death of Tyree Nichols earlier this year. The DOJ now examining the use of specialized units like Scorpion within law enforcement across the country.
And Pierre Thomas with us live tonight. Pierre, the Justice Department says it's going to review the Memphis Police Department, as you reported right there. But I did want to get back to Louisville tonight and these findings, because there have been alarming findings there before. But did the Justice Department say today how it expects a change this time around?
David, the hope is that the city will agree to a consent decree mandating changes that would be enforced by a federal judge. But David, in light of such damning allegations, it will take not only a change in training and culture, it will take time to build trust, especially in the Black community. David?
Pierre Thomas leading us off tonight. Pierre, thank you. Here this evening, the acting head of the FAA facing on Capitol Hill. What's going on flights in America? Tonight here, yet another case, this time a horrific fight breaking out on a passenger plane, the flight from Dallas to Phoenix, before it could even take off. Gio Benitez asking the acting head what's driving this.
Tonight's shocking new video of a brawl erupting on board a Southwest Airlines flight. This flying as a fight breaks out between two men on this plane before it took off from Dallas to Phoenix Monday. Other passengers attempting to separate the men. This video showing one of the men trying to explain what happened.
I'm telling everybody what happened. He approached me aggressively with my family. I don't play with my family. Tell him what happened. Tell him what you did.
Witnesses say both men were removed from the plane. It comes after that terrifying mid-air attack. A passenger seen here trying to stab a flight attendant multiple times on a cross-country United flight. After so many incidents in the skies and close calls on the runways, the acting chief of the FAA in the hot seat on Capitol Hill, and we pressed him on what lawmakers were asking. Mr. Nolan, I think that the average American is probably wondering what is going on. At least 6 close calls here. Does the FAA have a grasp on the situation?
The FAA absolutely has a grasp on this situation, and it's something that we look at every day. I can tell you that the system is strong, is safe, and resilient.
And David, all of these issues will be taking center stage next week right here in Washington at a special FAA Safety Summit. And of course, we will be there.
David. All right, Gio Benitez tonight. Thanks, Gio. Tonight, we're tracking 2 cross-country storms, at least 16 states and 40 million people on California to Wisconsin already for heavy snow, flooding, rain, and high winds. This will be in the Northeast by Friday's commute. All of this starting in the west again, a new blanket of heavy snow in Lake Tahoe. That storm already moving across the country at this hour. And then yet another system, what's called a new atmospheric river, about to slam California again with more snow and flooding rain. Let's get right to senior meteorologist Rob Marciano.
A conclusion they reached with moderate confidence. Dr. Robert Redfield, or CDC director under President Donald Trump, testified he was excluded from discussions with Dr. Anthony Fauci and other scientists because he believed that the lab leak theory needed to be investigated.
It was told to me that they wanted a single narrative and that I obviously had a different point of view.
But Dr. Fauci telling Politico that accusation is completely untrue, saying no one excluded anyone.
Steve Mary, I'm sorry, but I know what the fuck I said. And yes, I told a bunch of people to go out and get high instead of killing themselves with the fucking dope. Get high and don't die. Because Zori's up to do something. Somebody else said die. I believe it was Roger Lott.
3 years after the pandemic started, the intelligence community is still divided on how it all began. 4 other intelligence agencies have determined.
I'm still saying get high and don't die, because if these white boys don't kill Zori, he's about to do something.
spread through natural transmission, a human being exposed.
Are holding on in Bakhmut tonight, despite seemingly endless Russian attack. This drone operator taking cover from bombardment right outside the window, but he still holds up his iPad to try and keep the signal connection.
There are rumors of a
I have not forgotten that you have some tools.
First started dating Erica Herman in 2017.
And I have not forgotten that the horrible experience of being tortured by your own nation with poisonous fucking pills.
When she was the
But thanks for the offer.
manager at Tigers Jupiter.
You can bid. Nobody's stopping you from bidding.
A legend in Syracuse for years to come. On this International Women's Day, the images tonight, Ukrainian female soldiers carrying awards and flowers from President Zelensky. In Kabul, Afghan women rallying for their rights. And in Scotland, look at this, hundreds of women taking a sunrise swim in the North Sea. When we come back, America Strong, a husband's devotion.
Tupelo, Columbus.
You waved. We're communicating.
Survivor.
Not formally address the breakup of the task force. The mayor spoke on the subject at his press conference today. Last week, Columbus Police Chief Joseph Daughtry announced that he was pulling his officers from the unit. That was followed by the Lowndes County Board of Supervisors voting on Monday to give the required 90-day notice to intent to withdraw. Mayor Gaskin has a record as supporting county cooperation and cutting down on duplication of services when possible. He also said there have been lingering questions about the interlocal agreement governing the task force. He had been wanting a sit down to discuss these things.
When the chief and I were talking about this, I was very clear in that I wanted us to, I understood the concerns, but I felt it was important that we had a meeting with myself, the board, the president of the board of supervisors, the two attorneys from the city and the county, and he and the sheriff. I was a little surprised that it moved the way that it did. I do support the chief's decisions. I know he's got a lot on his plate down there.
The mayor expressed an interest in having city and county leaders meet to discuss possible next steps.
Meanwhile, a second move to revisit the Columbus Police Department's purchase of new radios meets with dead air. At last night's meeting, an agenda item called for a discussion of rescinding the lease agreement for CPD's new radios and putting the purchase through a reverse auction process to get similar radios with specifications to those of the fire department.
It's fucking sad. I know you need this for your career. I need it for my career. But no career matters.
Department and the sheriff's office. In January, the council approved.
No career matters until we are all not producing genocide.
A lease plan through a statewide contract with Jackson for Motorola radios that would allow Columbus Police to operate on the Miss Win and State Emergency Network. Now in February, Teletat, that's the
I don't know whose nuts these are.
local contract.
I don't know whose nuts these are.
Several years.
As far as I know, this woman on the television has given birth to children, so these nuts cannot belong to her. I have someone's nuts in my hand can you please come and get your nuts? I got your nuts. Your nuts that are attached to your penis. They are supposed to be attached to your penis, but for some reason, I have them in my hand.
At last night's meeting, the Columbus City Council approved the crime lab request to lease a second gas mask spectrometer. The device is used to analyze
Against a Columbus man. Columbus police were called.
Come and see how I'm doing. You okay? You okay? No, I just filed paperwork that said you a fucking taker because it's a joke.
Called to an assisted living facility after reports of a fight.
I just used government property to accuse you of committing a fucking crime because I, at 40 fucking 5, the most amazing salesperson that I've ever met in my life, am bored.
Wayne Weaver reportedly got into an argument with an elderly relative. That argument turned violent.
Not Patrick the Legend. Not Zig Ziglar. The best salesman I ever knew is paying you to sit on a goddamn couch.
Weaver is accused of throwing the older man to the ground.
pass a measure.
Go sell that faggot.
Requires about 240,000 signatures.
There's always room to improve. The W is now
that work
ultimately ranked.
Go sell the fact that when I go back to work, I'm going to be working to put your ass in jail. And for some reason, you getting paid to keep me from working.
He sees this as an opportunity for young.
Sell that bitch. Sell it. I want your list of leads.
Work and can't be present at the bedside as much as they would like to. They can log in and see.
Oh, Allie Martin W's.
Answer your own, bitch. Am I getting Social Security benefits and able to work? Am I?
CBI News. And each Angelized system
Am I?
$5,000. Ashley?
Speaking of kids, I went.
Now, the sides have been in contact, and the rebels officials are doing their. Gerangelo Sanja has been.
Go in Tupelo.
If I wasn't able to work, you wouldn't be still my ass sitting on a motherfucking couch.
Boogie, and get those ears checked. ABC WTVA, Tupelo.
children were. The mother here in Shannon and the grandfather and these two other individuals came down and forcibly took these children at gunpoint.
The three suspects are in jail in Campbell County, Kentucky, Tennessee. Sheriff Jim Johnson says the children should be reunited with their mother very soon. Now, we are expected to learn when that extraditing.
I don't know. Is investigative journalism, is that a job? Like, if you investigated a nation for concealing genocide and you got paid $900 a month for it, is that work?
Extradition hearing will be set for, we are expected to learn that information on a time for that hearing sometime on Thursday. We'll keep you updated.
Is it work when you investigate a nation for genocide and prove it in a prima facie form of discrimination? Is that work? If you get paid $993 for it?
States tonight on a deadly shooting at a Tupelo nightclub. We now know he was beaten and pistol whipped before he was shot. Appearance on Tuesday. He faces second-degree murder charges in connection to the shooting inside the Cheers nightclub near Crosstown.
How much does it cost to go and hire an army, a government, a public, and a whole fucking country to say we got genocide and go over there and blow up a bunch of shit? That's how much you owe one nigga.
Prosecutor Richard Babb says detectives have video that shows Davius Clifton. Babb says the video then shows Hatchet pistol whipping Clifton. He says the gun went off. The victim died at the hospital. We wanted to know, why does he face that second-degree charge?
The defendant pulled out a pistol, began whipping him, and at some point the gun discharged. Don't think it was his intent to kill him. That's the reason he was been arrested under second-degree murder. But
Babb did say that Hatchet's action showed, in his words, extreme indifference to human life, which is another reason for that second-degree murder charge.
The weirdest thing is that you categorize a motherfucker not telling you that I'm going to kill you, a motherfucker making an expression with his voice in Mississippi with an intent to sound as though I'm going to kill you because I'm white and you black, motherfucker. Now, if you're not a black person, understand what the fuck I'm talking about. But Roger Lott and Zora Rush know what the fuck I'm talking about when I say a white man telling a black man in Mississippi using a dog whistle, I'm gonna kill your ass, when actually saying I'm gonna kill your ass. Yeah, I heard you, white boy. I heard you tell me you were gonna kill me, white boy. I'm still waiting on your bitch ass to come over here and try it.
Charge does carry a possible life sentence. A 7th Memphis police officer is now, and others were suspended or left the force after
you and your government can try to categorize it and figure out what category that Roger Lott go in, where he tell a nigga that I'm gonna pull a trigger on your ass, and then he pull it. Y'all try to categorize it. But when you bring that bitch into court, you better carry that motherfucker to a jail out of there. And when he leave that motherfucker, you better have him saying, I'll never fuck with Zora Rush shit ever again. Because I know that if I fuck with Zora Rush shit, I am likely to lose my fucking head.
The 7th officer was fired following an internal investigation into the January 7th deadly attack.
That is understood and clear.
Hawkins says
Right there,
families of the defense.
Yes, the judge, asking no judge to tell that bitch that. I'm telling that bitch that if I am in this motherfucking world worried about you fucking with my property, I'm looking for your ass.
And the victim threatened each other with words and guns. Right now, you're looking at the 4 people deputies arrested.
So they better get you, bitch.
These three acres of land to the
You
north.
didn't threaten on the street. Threaten me, motherfucker.
And Gart tickets online. You can purchase those tickets online or in person at several locations. Here, she says her favorite part about her job is that she loves interacting with the community, helping people and seeing the impact she makes on others. She became an officer because of the sense of duty to serve the community.
$475. That's right. We can finance it.